So I hit you up with the niche list. Well, here's another list for you. You know what to do. Welcome back, NYC Fragrance family. Top 10 fall cheapy list. That's right, the cheap list. I know everybody waits for these because this is where you get a good grab, man. You get something 10 bucks, 20 bucks, 30 bucks. For me, cheap nowadays, I'd have to say is under 50. You know, prices are going up on everything. Your standard designer fragrance, if you walk into Macy's, is going for like 90 to 100, maybe even more than 100 now. Your niche fragrances are going over 150, 200, 300, and so on and so forth. So for me, cheap, we'll say under 50. And I think most of these are. Most of them are maybe in the $20, $30 range. There are some that may push 40. But all in all, we have a good list. Again, for my collection, cheap fragrances for the fall that I have. So, at number 10, I have Caron por Homme. This fragrance is a lavender bomb. If you like lavender fragrances, want something clean, fresh, office-like, wearable for work, this thing came in, I believe I got this around $25. It's a very good cheap fragrance to have. Number 10, Caron por Homme. Now this one we've heard about, or you've heard about, and it gets talked about a lot. But I have to put in a list, and the reason why I have to put in a list is because I've recommended this one to a lot of friends, and they've gone out and bought it, and they can do nothing but thank me for recommending this fragrance. And the fragrance I'm talking about is the infamous Armaf Club de Nuit Intense Man. You all know this is an Aventus clone, and there's some love for it, there's some hate for it, but again, get past the opening and this is a really good fragrance. It lasts a long time. It's less than $30, and sorry to say it, but it is a compliment beast. I recommend this one all the time because some people just don't want to spend money, and for $30 you get a 100 ml bottle and it's fantastic. Fantastic. They can't thank me enough. So at number 9, Club de Nuit Intense Man. At number 8, from a house that I just recently found out about and I was recently introduced to, comes the fragrance from the house of Louis Cardin, and it's called Silver. See that right there? It's got kind of a Mont Blanc Legend look to the bottle, but the juice does not smell like Mont Blanc Legend. The juice kind of smells like, somewhat like a Zara Wanted or Zara Wanted by Night-ish. Maybe a little bit of Versace Eros in there. And again, under $40, cheap fragrance, decent fragrance, good everyday wear, and that's what this list is all about, right? And that's what we're looking for. So that was at number 8, Louis Cardin's Silver. At number 7, I have a very familiar fragrance, and you're gonna say, okay, whatever, but it's in there because I still like it and I still think it's a good cheapie and it's good for the office and good for every day. And that is Coach for Men. Now you're going to say, Coach for Men, what about Coach Platinum? I mean, Coach Platinum's even discounted or lower price nowadays. I don't know. I think I like this one more. I don't know what it is, but I like the original Coach just a little bit better than Coach Platinum. That, and on top of that I own Coach and not Coach Platinum, but I did smell it and I didn't want to buy it. At number 6 on the cheap list for fall 2019, I have from the house of Davidoff Zino. This is just a classic fragrance, man. Classic barbershop fougere fragrance with a little spicy twist. Again, coming in at a very cheap price. And if you like those type of fragrances like I do, this is a good one. So at number 6, Zino by Davidoff. At number 5, I probably should represent this house because I own just about everything in the collection, and some people might say, why? I don't know. Something about it. From the house of Dunhill, 51.3 degrees north. This one is another elegant, everyday, spicy, but clean, lavender, office go to work fragrance. And for the $20 price point that it comes in at, it lasts. That is the crazy part. It lasts and it works. And that's some Dunhills don't, but I'm okay with that. Paying $20 for a 100 ml bottle, I'll bring it with me and I'll reapply. And even if this failed me, I do the same thing. So at number 5, Dunhill, 51.3 degrees north. At number 4, this one, I watched the review about it. Chad and Gentleman's Journey did a review on it. I'll link that below. And it comes from the House of Guess. And that is Guess 1981, Los Angeles. This is a sexy, seductive, cheap fragrance. Now, it's hard to find, at least I wasn't able to get it off some regular discount site. I got it off of eBay. I did find it at a good price, and I blind bought it based on the review. Thanks to Chad and his recommendation, it is a good fragrance. It's kind of in that same vein of like a La Nuit de l'Homme. If you've smelled Halloween Man Shot, that type of a fragrance profile. It's not exactly the same, but it has that level of sweet seduction. It has a seductive quality, and it comes in at a cheap price point, and definitely worth checking out. I don't know if you can get it in the store and get to smell it and test it. I blind bought it, and I'm not disappointed. I think it's a great cheapie to have. So at number 4, Guess 1981 Los Angeles. At number 3, this one's been in my cheap list before, and it'll probably continue to be there, being that my favorite creed happens to be Royal Oud, a fragrance that can emulate that at a cheap price, and this one does. I believe this comes in at about $20 now, maybe $30 at the most, in that $20 to $30 range. And it is Lomani Intense Black. This right here works, sad to say, better than the original. And a lot of clones tend to do that. They amp up certain things, or the synthetics, whatever it is that makes it work better than the original. But I do own the original, it's right behind me. And I'll continue to own the original. There is subtle nuance about the original that these clones or inspirations just can't get. But this gives me a scent profile in that same vein, which I enjoy. And that's why I'll reach for this one, and I'll wear this one. And I recommend this one to people that like Royal Oud but don't want to spend the money. Lomani Intense Black. That's my number 3. Number 2, from the House of Alexandria, an original creation. Again, this one a lot of people like and a lot of people talk about is Hafez 1984. Hafez 1984, a lot of people say it smells like Mancera's red tobacco. I'm not really getting it. It is a nice rich tobacco fragrance. It is a beautiful fragrance. It is long lasting. And with the discount codes and everything, you'll get it for around $40. So it's definitely worth the price. Definitely worth checking out. Alexandria does do some great fragrances, and you get them at that price point. Inspired and uninspired, their original creations, all very well made. Strong perfume oils that they use for their concentrations. As well as my number 1. My number 1 comes from my other clone house that I like, because I do like Alexandria, and I also like this brand. From the House of Dua comes Caramel Delight. A Caramel Delight, if you know, is inspired by Davidoff Zino. Davidoff Zino was my number 2 on my niche list, and I own Davidoff Zino. I also own Caramel Delight, and I have, I believe, another inspired fragrance. Fragranza Limone e Vaniglia, which also smells like Davidoff Zino. But the original, again, does what it does. Caramel Delight to me has the caramel note amped up more in it than the original Lyra, but I like that sometimes. When I want it to be sweeter, that's when I put this one on. Again, good concentration, extrait de parfum. The oils that they use for their fragrances are very good, and they do last a long time, and it's undeniable. And I know there's people out there that don't care for duo fragrances and don't care for Alexandria fragrances or any of the other clone houses, but when it comes to my cheap lists, a lot of these clones get in there because the quality is that good, the performance is that good, and listen, not everybody's going to go out there and spend $300 on a niche product. Unfortunately, the everyday retailer will look for these bargains, and you are my subscribers, and I am going to supply you with as much information as I can about what's out there and what you can get to smell good. So, I hope you like this top 10 list. Those are my cheap fragrances for fall 2019. Remember to like, comment below, let me know what you think. For those of you that are not subscribed, please do so. And remember, if you smell good, you feel good. Have a nice day.